Staring at herself in the mirror on the restroom door. Voices in her head that mirror what she's heard before. All the things they said to hold her back, they never seem to leave her head and tend to keep her mind at war.
Hey beautiful people, it's your girl Shakima, just stopping in for the seasonal reading for my Sagittarius babies. Now we are heading into Sagittarius season, so we are kickstarting this reading with my Sagittarius sun, moon and rising babies to see what's going to be coming for you in your personal season and let the unfolding unveil itself. Stay tuned guys, stay with me. Of the purest and highest of vibrations are present to provide me with the insight, clarity and guidance needed so that I may be able to relay and convey such insights as openly and as clearly and as concisely as possible. I ask that I'm used and utilised as a mediumship vessel to be able to relay and convey such insights as openly and as clearly and as concisely as possible. It is so done. Shay guys. So let's go ahead and dive deep into it. We're going to start off with just a little bit of a scope to see where you are for the Sagittarius season, what path you're crossing, what's going on in the subconscious mind, what's going on in the conscious mind as a result, and also what's the outcome. And then we're going to have a look at your weekly scope and see what's going to be taking place. We've got the Gemini full moon taking place in your season as well as the Sagittarius new moon, so we're going to have a look and see what those weeks are going to be unveiling for you guys, and then we're going to chop up all of this awesomeness with the romance guidance, where we'll be able to have a look and see what's transpiring and get some advice for my single Sagittarius, those who are taken and those who are in complicated situations, because I don't judge, and you know, we all need love. So let's go ahead and get into it guys. Show me spirit this Sagittarius season for my Sagittarius babies. There's definitely going to be a lot of clarifying certain perspectives, seeing as we're going through a shift in our philosophies for this Sagittarius season, and it may at times show the areas where we've been misaligned in our values, or where our new philosophies may no longer suit our old values, or our old philosophies may no longer suit our new values. So we are going to be sort of diving deep into the scope of that guys, particularly around our home situations and circumstances is the main thing that I'm sort of seeing for you guys. I do see it's a case of moving past resentment and becoming a little bit more open to the changes that may be taking place. So that may come with some conflict of trying to navigate through whatever it is that's actually brewing beneath the surface. And you kind of do have to go into maybe looking at some runes surrounding feelings of betrayal or mistrust or misplaced loyalty, that kind of stuff, you know, feeling like you've betrayed yourself, or feeling like you've betrayed someone, or someone feeling like you have actually betrayed them because of not being able to sort of meet their values. So it should be a very interesting season for us guys. So let's have a look. Where do you see my Sagittarius babies for this Sagittarius season, spirit? Where are my Sagittarius sun, moon and rising babies? Beautiful guys. So we've got the Seven of Pentacles in reverse and the King of Pentacles. So looking at this, to me, it's kind of telling me that you guys have definitely been feeling like things have been cut short in terms of your vision. You've definitely been feeling as though, you know, certain plans may have been cut short, or certain situations may have left you feeling neglected, certain insecurities of the past, things that you've been worrying about, more than likely to do with financial losses and investments. It seems as though you're kind of at that place where you're not necessarily seeing the long-term vision of the abundance that's taking place for you here, because it's appearing as though where you are, it feels like you've been left out in the cold, because you're going through this process of actually having to face your insecurities, you know, as you're navigating through this process, as you face the insecurities, you're getting clarity on potentially why things aren't necessarily manifesting in the way that you'd hoped, and really just kind of regaining that awareness is going to be able to give you the opportunity to realign yourself and really dive deep into your subconscious beliefs and patterns. For some of you guys, what I'm seeing with this, right, just like really taking it into a personal concept, for some of you guys, I'm seeing that you're at this crossroads where you feel like things have basically held you back and you weren't able to fully activate your, you know, King of Pentacles energy. You weren't able to activate that full control, but you are becoming a little bit more disciplined. You are becoming a little bit more in control of the things that you're not necessarily aware of, you know, that you're not necessarily able to see the entire long-term scope of the process, but for the most part, you are getting mental clarity on the little things that you need to be doing differently, the little things that subconsciously may need to be, you know, reprogrammed in a few different ways. Let's have a look and see what path you're crossing. What path are they crossing, Spirit? My Sagittarius babies, as clearly as you can, please. Okay, so the path that you're crossing is the Page of Wands energy. So this to me is telling me that, you know, you're crossing that path of really being able to regain some passion. You know, find what it is that you're passionate about and let that be the driving force of this abundance that you feel like you're not able to tap into at the minute because you're not able to see the actual long-term scope of the projects that you're kind of doing at the minute. We are living in a time of evolving, I guess, transits for everyone at the minute as a collective and individually. So, you know, this is really going to be your moment of self-discovery that's going to allow you to see how you can tap into that abundance, how even though you may be navigating with blind spots in areas where you don't have all of the information, you're actually at that place where you're willing to explore. And that's kind of like the guidance for you as you're navigating through the Sagittarius season. Just be open to exploring, allow yourself to be free to the concepts that life may not necessarily be entirely the way that you want it to be, but this may be the opportunity for you to get the breakthrough you've been waiting for, the mental clarity that you've been praying for. You know, this may be the opportunity for you to kind of really see that by opening yourself up to the things that you don't necessarily know and the things that you're not necessarily clear about, because you may potentially be feeling like, you know, there's a lack of success at the end of this, or you may be feeling like it's going to take a lot of work. You may be unmotivated to actually do the work that needs to be taking place at the minute, but I'm seeing that right now the whole I guess point for you for Sagittarius season is really going into self-discovery, because it is your first house season. It's a season of your identity of self. There are going to be things that may feel like it's outside of your control, and it's going to be very tiresome. It's going to feel like it's a really big responsibility on you, but you'll be able to start to see that you're planting small seeds. You know, you're planting small seeds to be able to actually move forward into this place where you're a little bit more secure, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and also financially, because I'm seeing that your worry is the main thing that's kind of affecting your ability to move forward. It's almost crippling you, it's almost stifling you, and it's kind of leaving you in that place of being indecisive about what it is that you want to be able to do to move forward from the situation. So let's see what's going on in the subconscious mind of my Sagittarius baby spirit. Okay, as clearly as we can get that, it was pretty clear. We've got the Hierophant in reverse. So I guess in the subconscious mind, you guys are at that place where you're really kind of, you know, you're thinking about how you can challenge these restrictions that you're experiencing at the minute. You're thinking about, you know, the indecision that you're experiencing at the minute, the delays that are taking place, that is kind of impacting your ability to kind of be a little bit more indecisive, is because you are straight up, man, you're putting a lot of pressure on yourself based on factors that are outside of your control, like how your decision is going to impact or affect somebody else. Maybe that's something that they're also here to learn. Maybe that's something that they're also here to be able to you know, go through their own personal transition with, just by you being able to maybe just pull the rug from under their feet a little bit, you know, kind of like kickstart something into gear here. But I'm seeing that your indecision right now is basically, I feel like this is pretty much the same old story for you guys, Sagittarius. You're kind of really focused on how your decisions may be impacting others, both long-term and short-term as well, and that's kind of left you indecisive at the minute. But that's something that you're really going to have to deal with, because you're going to need to utilize your voice. You know, some of your insecurities may be the fact that you're not able to honor your own personal self-expression. You're not able to speak up for yourself, or you find it challenging to speak up for yourself, especially when there's emotional attachments involved. So that's something that you may be needing to really face during the process of this Sagittarius new moon, this Sagittarius season. Again, particularly, I guess the Sagittarius new moon spirit is very clear. My bad. Sorry for actually correcting spirit there. So the Sagittarius new moon spirit saying is probably a really good time for you to be able to plant some seeds. Really allowing for yourself to dive a little bit deeper into the layers of what it is that needs to be changed, what it is that needs to be rectified in terms of your ability to communicate your experience of others whilst honoring your own experience yourself, and honoring what it is that you need as well, which is going to be quite a trip for you guys. I definitely think that it's going to be a little bit tricky, because this is, you know, it's really about being instrumental in the change as it's taking place. It's really about going into the darker parts of yourself, the parts that you don't necessarily show, the anxieties that you don't speak about, the discomfort that you try not to acknowledge, the parts of yourself that you pretend don't exist because you feel like you may be greedy, or you feel like people may see you as materialistic, or they may not necessarily hold the same values or or feel that your priorities are different in a lot of different ways. Those are some of the things that you're going to have to really dive into for this Sagittarius season, my loves. What's going on in the conscious mind for my Sagittarius babies? As clearly as you can, please, Spirit. Show us what's taking... Okay, the conscious mind. You guys are focused on... Yeah. Interesting, my loves. You guys are focusing on... You're kind of shining a light on the things that basically aren't necessarily in your control. The things that you're feeling like, you know, it's purely down to bad luck. It's purely down to ancestral baggage. It's purely down to misrepresented karmic debts. You're really going to be soul searching about that. You're really going to be diving deep within yourself. You're going to be doing a lot of deep introspection, which may mean some time alone to really ponder on some of the things that basically haven't necessarily gone in your... Wow. So what I'm seeing for you guys, so in the conscious mind, the reason why you're silencing your voice is because you feel like maybe there have been plans that hasn't necessarily worked out for you in the past, and you're doubting your ability to be able to make decisions. You're kind of like having a moment of mistrust with yourself. You're at this place where you're very guarded with it's kind of, I'm seeing it like a Scrooge kind of energy, kind of like a misery kind of energy, where you're very guarded about what it's going to take for you to feel protected as you're navigating through this space. And that's the challenge for you as you're navigating through this voyage of self-discovery. You're basically looking at the things that hasn't necessarily gone too well. You're focused on the things that are outside of your control and how they're making you feel unmotivated, and it's kind of making you feel like you have no sense of direction because there's so many elements that are outside of your control. You're absolutely right with this, my loves, okay? There are factors that are outside of your control, but there's so many variables that are within your control. You are actually the King of Pentacles energy upright. So the abundance is here for you. It's simply that you're not able to see the abundance, you know, because your focus is on what isn't more so than what is. And I guess this is going to be an opportunity this Sagittarius season for you to learn a little bit more about that. Learn a little bit more about your skill set and how you can be more of a team player, and what you actually do bring to the table as part of the team, and what your strengths are, and how you can really utilize those strengths, and how others can benefit from those strengths. You may have regrets throughout the process, and there may be decisions that you'll be forced to make that you will kind of be regretful for in the moment, because they involve emotional ties, but it's a rite of passage for you. Okay, shifting perspectives and philosophies, guys. What is the outcome for my Sagittarius babies for this? Okay, you guys have a whole bunch of cards, so let's have a look and see the outcome. Wow. So the outcome for my Sagittarius sun, moon and rising babies is that you guys are literally, you've judged so harshly in the past, and you're judging the past very harshly as well. You're still looking at the challenges that you've overcome, and you know, some of you may be able to see how you've been able to kind of gone through a rebirthing process, and how it's helping you to find the harmony right now. It's very depressing, it's very challenging, it is causing a lot of anxieties because it is triggering a lot of insecurities to come to surface, but I am seeing that moving forward, you know, you'll be able to kind of live in the illusion of your fears, and you will be in that place where you're within your subconscious mind facing and battling your fears, facing and battling your inner demons, facing and battling your scars, your parts of yourself that doesn't necessarily believe this King of Pentacles energy. You know, your masculine energy is really going through a process of a transition at the minute, because you've been so indecisive for so long about so many different variables based on the things that aren't necessarily within your control. Your masculine energy has definitely felt the pressure of the stagnancy, but I do think that you're going to be getting a little bit more clarity during this Sagittarius season as to how you can be a little bit more aligned with your happiness. You will be feeling a little bit anxious about certain reunions. So for some of you guys, you may be separated from loved ones, you may be separated from your romantic partner, you may be separated from children, extended family members, immediate family members that aren't as close because of the current situation that we're navigating through. And you know, you're kind of having to you know, figure out how you can step up and lead. You know, you're kind of honoring those relationships, and it's really allowing for you to be able to see your ability to birth these new opportunities to light, but at the same time you're going to have to communicate that visionary within yourself to the ones that you love most, because that's really the thing that's actually driving you anxious. The moment you can move past that resistance is where you're able to break away from this wheel of fortune in the conscious mind that's in reverse, you know. Right, so let's go ahead and chop it up and have a look at the week-to-week scope for you guys. My Sagittarius babies for week 1 of this Sagittarius season, Spirit. Oh wow, you guys have a lot going on. I'm going to take one card and I'm going to tell the story with the rest of the cards that I've got here. So where I'm seeing you guys is you are the Emperor in reverse in the actual first week. So the first week of Sagittarius season for you guys, it's going to feel a little bit like, let's see. It's going to feel a little bit like there's a real sense of inflexibility, you know, because again, I mentioned, you know, there's so many things that you want to speak about, there's so many conversations that you want to have, there's so many new visions that you do want to have. And for some of you guys, maybe you don't see it, maybe you don't feel it, maybe you're not connected as deeply to your intuition to be able to get the foresight that you need to see, which is probably some of the things that's keeping you a little bit stagnant. But I can see that in the first week you're actually going to be feeling really quite rigid, and this desire to control as much of the variables as possible. When I say focus on the variables that are in your control, it doesn't mean being dominating. It doesn't mean letting others dominate your vision either. It means openly communicating what it is that you desire, and having, compromising negotiations where you guys can kind of find a middle ground. I can see that as you're navigating through the first week, it is going to be quite hopeful. It's going to be quite hopeful in the sense that even though there's, again, this lack of foresight, due to a lot of doubt is what I'm seeing, due to a lot of doubt about what is potentially to come, and your inability to plan because of the fact that things are so unstable at the minute. You're kind of planning is a challenge for you right now, and that's the challenge that you need to focus on. Instead of planning so much, focus on maybe taking the opportunities that comes your way. Stay open to wishful thinking and optimistic promises that you're engaging with the universe, because it seems as though mentally you're quite tight about the situation. Mentally you feel you're kind of losing the battle in the first week. You do feel like you're losing the battle, either being overly controlling or by being experiencing the energy of being someone being dominant over your ability to be able to just be free in your ability to express yourself. And it may kind of leave you feeling guarded for the first week of Sagittarius season, but this is the whole process of you being able to navigate through this season for yourself. That is to be expected based on everything that you're going to be navigating through this season. So I think that's right on schedule. Just kind of be mindful not to enable dominating behavior towards yourself too much, and try not to indulge in that kind of experience yourself as well, like giving that part of yourself to other people. It's good to be assertive, and there's a way to do that without aggression. And when you get dominant, that's really kind of like when assertion has gone into now more of a an aggression, depending on how you're able to communicate it. So even if you do need to be quite dominant in the sense that you're going to protect your peace and honor what it is that, or learn to at least honor what it is that's going on from your inner guidance system, from your intuition, from your own personal reflection and introspection. If you're going to be able to communicate that, you kind of need to be able to really get to that place where you can communicate yourself and find your peace in the process without triggering anybody else in the process, and also aggravating their own aggression to come to surface. What do you see for the second week for my Sagittarius babies for this Sagittarius season, Spirit? What do you see? Okay, there's so many cards coming out, guys. I'm like, damn, I didn't want to do all this, but I guess we gotta go there, guys. We're going there, okay? We are going there. Let me just get these all out for you guys so we can see what's going on in your second week. Wow, your second week's a story, guys. Damn. So, right. What I can see in your second week, this is interesting. So, you're kind of going to be going through these waves of, feeling the beauty of this transformation that's taking place from the first week, right? You may be still feeling a little bit powerless in some areas. You may be feeling like you're not prepared for certain things, or you may be feeling even like you're not prepared for this evolution that's taking place, and you're confused as to why it's still kind of taking place, even though you may not be ready, or somebody else may not be ready, or you may feel as though somebody else is kind of stagnating the process of your evolution that's been taking place. But I can see the challenge for you in the second week is really a sense of loneliness that you're kind of navigating your way through. This feeling of loneliness and kind of putting, I wouldn't say pushing everyone away, but just feeling isolated from the world, feeling withdrawn from the world, and really kind of going through processing some of your emotional immaturity, and really just kind of looking at how subconsciously it's affecting you, and how it's actually also affecting the people around you in a lot of different ways. You're really kind of, you may be triggered by other people's hidden agendas, or people not maybe meeting your own expectations as well. I'm seeing that this challenge that you're navigating through is a real calling to listen to your inner voice. It's a real calling to the fact that you're resisting this transformation that's taking place. It's a real calling to the fact that it is inevitable that moving forward you will be having a tower moment in the second week. So in the second week you may be having what is perceived to be like a disastrous moment where things come crumbling down, where you feel as though, again, I told you the rug's been pulled from someone's feet. You know, this may be you experiencing that, or it may be you being the one to pull the rug from someone else's feet by being able to express yourself. But I am seeing that, you know, the second week you're kind of moving into your third week being a little bit more open to the process of what's taking place. You're a little bit more engaging with the transition that's taking place. I can see that even though you're open to the things that you've struggled to move on from previously, whatever you're holding on to, it's inevitable that it will have to go through the transition process with you. So just bear that in mind. Okay, what do you see taking place for my Sagittarius babies for the third week of their season, Spirit? Okay, got one card for that. Okay, again, we have another Page of Wands energy. So this is really where the subconscious mind is attuning to what's going on for you in Sagittarius season. So this may be finally the time where you are open to the exploration of self. This may be the time where you're finally kind of like getting all of these amazing downloads, because you've kind of acknowledged in week 2 that you've been blocking yourself creatively, you've been holding yourself back, you've been dimming your light, or maybe you've been dimming other people's light in the process, and you're learning how to be a little bit less dominating or domineering in the way that you're expressing yourself and engaging with others. But week 3, that's it for you guys. You know, you're kind of open to this exploration that's taking place, and you know, you're going to be willing to walk the path to get the clarity that you feel that you don't necessarily have at the minute. So that in itself is beautiful. Okay, what is the fourth and final week of Sagittarius season like for my Sagittarius babies? Okay, interesting. So the fourth week of Sagittarius season, let's have a look and see. Wow. The fourth week of Sagittarius season, guys, is looking up. So by the fourth week, I can see that you guys are going through a mental recovery of your emotional body. I can see that you've navigated through a lot of anxiety and depression and fear of failure, and potentially for some of you, fear of success. You've really gone deep within to yourself to look at the things that were basically just maybe other people's expectations, unrealistic goals maybe you had that weren't going to necessarily be met, and you kind of had to let that go in order to recover by being able to accept where you are, and you know, accept this rebirth that's taking place, and this inner calling of your next version of self that is calling you to that King of Pentacles version of yourself that's able to sit in the fullness of your character. The fourth week, you've got the Justice card, man. You know, things are actually like feeling like it's looking up for you guys. It's feeling like there's a lot of truth that's going to be coming to surface in the fourth week of Sagittarius season. And it does feel as though, you know, whatever forces may not felt like they were in your control starting Sagittarius season, it seems like you're going to be ending Sagittarius season with a recovery of your personal identity of self. You are taking back control of your King of Pentacles energy, your ability to tap into that power, that infinite resource. Your ability to really just be disciplined is the main thing that is going to be the transitionary period for you. Your ability to be disciplined enough to honor your experience and speak up for yourself as and when necessary, and know when to also listen accordingly as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and close out the space with some romance guidance for you guys. Guidance for my Sagittarius babies who are taken, Spirit. Those Sagittarius babies who are in relationships, what do you advise for them for this Sagittarius season as they're navigating through all of this personal recovery of this beautiful abundance that's here for them? As clearly as you can, please, Spirit. We want to know. Those who are feeling the love and in love. Okay. So for you guys, I'm choosing to read these cards in reverse because that's how I've got it. For you guys some of you guys, you may be getting offers of reconciliation. You know, so for some of you guys, you may be going through a separation period with the person that you're with, and it may feel like the red flags were too big, too great, and those were deal breakers for you, and you may be open to new love. For others of you, it seems as though the guidance is to really consider whether or not there is the opportunity to work on something here. I think let your friends help you to kind of figure out what it is that you're kind of looking for. There is some trust issues here, because it's not just about love in the case of this relationship. There's bigger issues that you guys may have to work through at the minute, and it's going to really require for you guys to both be willing to take a step forward into the next layer of this relationship. So you guys kind of really have to have some real open conversations, get back to that place where you were in the honeymoon stage, or at least try to reflect on that and see how much of that feeling of the experience you can bring back into your current situation. And for others of you guys, this is bon voyage to the actual relationship, and you'll actually be moving forward to looking at other prospects of new love openly, knowing that the past situation just wasn't right for you. Okay, what is the overall romance guidance for my Sagittarius babies who are literally single in Singleville, trying to figure out this love thing, right? What's the overall guidance for my single Sagittarius babies? Trust the process, guys. So the advice for you guys is to trust the chemistry. The situation is really calling for you to have faith. There's somebody that you like, somebody that you have your eye on, or maybe there's this feeling that you have, you know that your person is coming soon, you know that your person is literally on their way to you, and you can already feel the chemistry. Maybe there's someone in your friendship circle, maybe there's someone in your friendship group that is able to kind of like make that connection, and you know, you're really kind of considering what values you hold, what religious factors, what spiritual beliefs you have, what it is that you're looking for in your next partner. Or maybe you're considering that maybe your religious beliefs and spiritual philosophies don't necessarily merge well together, so you're having a little bit of trust issues with the process. You may be questioning the compatibility because of those formulas, I guess, of the circumstances that you're dealing with. But Spirit's saying trust, you know, be open to the process, trust what's taking place here for you, because it serves a purpose. Okay, my loves? Right, let's close out this space and have a look and see what the overall guidance is for my Sagittarius babies who are in complicated situationships, because I don't judge and we all need love, even if it is complicated. Okay, what is the overall guidance for my Sagittarius babies who are in situationships for this Sagittarius season? What is the romance guidance? Okay, guys. Wow. So the romance guidance for you guys is take off the masks. Remove your old layer of your pain that you are continuing to engage in with this relationship. You know, when we speak about situationships, it's usually complicated because there's many layers to the situation. So my personal recommendation to you is really allow for this relationship to ascend by taking off the mask. I know that you are scared that you are potentially going to be hurt again, or they're going to do the same thing that they've done in the past. You may even feel as though, you know, they're not necessarily going to be able to continue to live up to the expectations that you have moving forward as well. But maybe if it's something that you are open to in a way where you can just let yourself be vulnerable, you can just let yourself be open rather than being pretentious and wearing a mask in this space. Like there are things that have been deceiving, because, you know, one of the things that we did say is that truth is going to be coming to surface by the 4th week. So there are some things that may be coming to surface during this Sagittarius season in your situationship that you may be preparing yourself for or need to prepare yourself for, or maybe you're the one that's going to be giving a few home truths for this Sagittarius season. Either way, do take it as an opportunity to allow for this commitment to be, allow for it to move in the right direction, be playful with the process of the truth coming out, because this is what you need to be able to move through some of this stagnancy that you guys have been engaging with. You know, the lack of vision, the inability to kind of like plan ahead, because it kind of like feels like it's more than likely, you know, going to be leading to a perceived dead end. You really kind of just have to give yourself an opportunity to work through what it is that is going on beneath the surface, and express your love, and express it from an open place, express it from an honest place, and release your control issues, not just in the sense of, you know, with the other person, but also literally with yourself as well, releasing some of that you know, that energy with yourself as well, so that you can get a little bit more open to whatever it is that you feel, so that you don't have to constantly control the way that you're basically expressing yourself and pretending to be all cool, calm and collected. Okay, things are going to be picking up for you guys the 4th week, so it seems like things are going to be intense during your season. The 2nd week we do have the Gemini full moon, so it does make sense why you're going to be sort of having that story unfold of this evolution that you're taking place. That's where your breakthrough moment is going to be sort of taking place. So definitely set some intentions to really pretty much just kind of like release some of the emotional blockages that you've kind of experienced in your 1st week, or some of the you know, creative blockages that you've been able to identify in the 1st week, and it will be able to help you to move a little bit more smoothly into the 4th week of Sagittarius season with the Sagittarius new moon. Okay, my loves, I hope that that was useful for you guys. Definitely be sure to comment down below and let me know how you've been able to effectively utilize the information. You know, this has been a general reading, so it's not going to resonate with everyone. If it doesn't resonate, do just let it dissipate. Okay, but if it does resonate and you know, you've been able to utilize the map, I guess, that I've been able to provide for you, then definitely be sure to comment down below. Give me a thumbs up, let me know that you like the content, and just share if you care to welcome me back into the space, guys. I've been away for some time, but thanks to Mars retrograde, we are back out here and enjoying the festivities of you know, the penultimate month and season of 2020. That being said, I'm gonna love you guys and leave it there for you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Enjoy your season, my loves. Take care, guys. Mwah.
Staring at herself in the mirror on the restroom door. Voices in her head that mirror what she's heard before. All the things they said to hold her back, they never seem to leave her head, and tend to keep reminded.